How do guys, I am Troubadour and welcome back to some more Smite Season 8, and today we are tackling the ever changing mid laner known as Chang'e. Changing, you know, you see my joke? Haha, absolute top class medium quality humour. Now this is specifically a mid lane build, and it's not designed to be utilised within the solo lane, as often Chang'e can flex over into this role due to her extremely useful passive ability, and the fact that she can actually pump out quite a large amount of damage, alongside having some decent defences, as well as a large pool of health, if built correctly. The last thing I want to note is that pronunciation here, I'm not too sure on. I've heard Chang'e, Chang'e, like I've heard so many, but I'm going to stick to Chang'e. That's probably the one that I use naturally, so fuck it, we're using that. Just so you guys are aware, her passive ability sends this sweet little boy, oh he's so cute, back to get items for her while she completely demolishes her opponents. One last thing to note, this build is designed for people who are somewhat familiar with Chang'e already, whether you are looking to learn her at a surface level, or perhaps wanting to take her further into ranked or competitive play. This build is designed for you. Right, let's not mess about any longer and get right into the build. So, first things first, your starter item. What are you going to build and what's it going to lead into? Well, we're going to tackle that now, as starter items are pretty much essential to every character now, much more important than they were in Season 7, and Season 8 they're pretty much detrimental to every build you're going to make. Some people like to sell their starter items, but for the most part, they're going to be essential. For Chang'e, I have seen two that work very effectively. These are the Sands of Time starter item and Bumba's Dagger, the starter item. If you're new to Chang'e within the ranked scene, then I'd recommend the Sands of Time, due to the fact it's going to help with the cooldown on your abilities, especially considering the fact Chang'e is an ability based mage with a lot of burst damage potential. So when you do her combo, you have the potential to one-shot people. Her combo, just in case you don't know, is her ultimate, which is her 4, going into her 1, then her 3, then if you have enough cooldown, you'll then be able to perform her 1 again. Your other option is Bumba's Dagger. It's much more risky in my opinion, but if done correctly, it will really help you. When you combine this with a mana chalice in the early game, you're going to help really sustain yourself, as Bumba's Dagger, when you kill jungle camps, so there's going to be 2 in the mid lane, 1 on your left and 1 on your right, doesn't really matter which way you're facing, it's going to restore health and mana to you. So within the early game, you're going to become quite the threat as long as you're winning or holding lane and fighting for these camps, because you're going to be able to sustain yourself a little longer than your opponent, allegedly. The only issue you have is if the jungler's picking on you quite a lot, you want to make sure you ward and are very much up to date with your camps. All of this will eventually combo nicely in you staying in lane longer than your opponent, so you overall have more levels and XP, therefore you'll scale and snowball further, and you can utilise your passive to its optimal potential by sending that little flea bag back to get items for you, despite how cute he is, and then you can use the jungle camps to maintain. It all connects together quite nicely. However, Bumba's Dagger is certainly a risk, but yeah, they're the two that I'd recommend. And thus that leads us into your core items, which consists of the Shoes of Focus, Kronos' Pendant, Spear of Magus, and the Spear of Desolation. For the most part, these items will never really change and will always remain as your staple options within your build in order for you to utilise Chang'e to her optimal potential. Her burst range here can really escalate quite high, and any squishy characters on the enemy team are in danger of being one-shot by her combo. The only item that may be changed is the Spear of Magus, as if you need an anti-heal option, Divine Ruin offers penetration alongside the anti-heal it provides, meaning that you don't lose out on too much penetration within your overall build. In all honesty, your last 2 items is where a variation will start to apply, and it is key to judge the enemy team in terms of what item you should purchase. Furthermore, it also depends on your own team's individual success within battles in the middle to late game. If you are winning, then I would recommend the Rod of Tahuti in order to continue your damage scaling, especially if the enemy team is lacking several frontliners that can survive Chang'e's combo. For example, if they only have say 1 frontliner and 4 damage dealers, as they wanted 2 ADC in order to push the enemy towers quite hard, or if they chose a mage in their solo lane, thus they're lacking and only maybe have the Guardian to frontline, then her combo will really do some damage, as she's especially good against those who don't have the defense to deal with her. However, then the issue arises if you are losing team battles overall and you are struggling to kill the enemy team, it is then perhaps a good idea to dual build and perhaps flex into healing alongside your raw damage output. That is why the Rod of Asclepius will work exceptionally well in this situation. Not only does it provide you with extra health, so you're a little bit more tanky, it will also increase the power of your healing abilities by 20%, as long as it's going to give you that raw damage boost alongside it. I'd consider this a good move to do, and this is exactly what the Rod of Asclepius does. Towards the end of the game, you could also sell your boots, and there are options available for you to purchase both the Rod of Tahuti and the Rod of Asclepius here, and that is typically what I do tend to go for, but this does not mean there are not other routes available to you. This would include, for example, the Shield of Regrowth. That's going to grant you extra health alongside the movement speed every time you use your third ability to heal yourself. The movement speed increase is really sweet and will help you chase down enemies that would otherwise get away. And yeah guys, that's the build. That is our Chang'e build done. However, there are a couple of threats that I feel like need to be discussed and that you should be aware of when going into the Smite Season 8 competitive scene. I'd argue your two largest threats are going to be an Awilix or an Apollo. Both of these gods can very easily destroy Chang'e very fast if they work around her abilities. Both can interrupt her combo and have insane burst damage that will kill her off in a flash. Literally before you know it, you'll look and you'll be dead. They'll give you the eyes and you'll be begging for mercy. You get the point. They're going to kill you very fast. So before you lunge in with your combo, make sure you're aware if they have ultimate and if they're actually going to be focusing you down. So if you're winning and you're potentially going to be the largest threat there, then make sure that you've got your distance between them and you're behind your front liner. Otherwise, I'm sorry friend, but you're as good as dead. Otherwise dudes, that's pretty much it from me. That's Chang'e for you. Fairly simple overall. Not too much variation until you hit that end game build where you are going to start varying your items, but otherwise this particular goddess is fairly simple. I hope that you have enjoyed this, and if so, be sure to leave a like, as that honestly would show me so much, because the last video, that is an army one I built previously, did absolutely amazing for me, and it was just great to see a huge amount of support on that video. And to be honest, I'm actually really shocked. I didn't expect it to do so well at all. So yeah, I'm going to quit going on a tangent now, but every single view, every single little thing that happens is absolutely amazing for me, and I can't thank you all enough. So yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do, even just watching. Thank you. That's all from me dudes. Take it easy and I'll see you next time.